Welcome back, everybody, here to East Texas tonight. Our guest tonight is Miss Mechele Mills. She's built a career at the intersection of leadership, community, and impact in East Texas. As president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau serving Central East Texas, she's helped guide businesses, support consumers, and promote trust in the marketplace across the region. But her story goes far beyond her title, from early leadership experiences to deep community involvement and the life that she's built outside of work. Her journey is reflecting on a blend of purpose, service, and personal growth that's rooted right here in East Texas. Tonight, she joins us to talk about that path that shaped her and the lessons that she learned along the way. So let's bring her in. Welcome in here to East Texas tonight. I'm so glad that we get to have you on to kind of chat a little bit and get to know you better. How are you doing?
I'm great. What an introduction. My goodness. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, let's start here on your early life and career path because we want to get to know who you are just beyond your career and what you do for the Better
Okay.
Business Bureau. What did you think? Let's kind of take it back to your early years and talk a little bit more.
That's a long time ago.
No, not at all. Well, tell me a little bit more about what first sparked your interest in communication, leadership, or public service.
I grew up, I'm Filipino, and so just about everybody in my family is a nurse or a doctor. All of them are in the medical field somehow. And so growing up, that was my mindset. I was going to be a doctor, a nurse. And then, I took a biology class in college, and I'm like, it's just not clicking for me. And so I didn't know what I was going to do. So I decided to go down like the pharmacy path because that was like a little step, a step aside from being a doctor or a nurse. And still, it didn't click. And so I worked in a pharmacy for a while. And after about, I think it was about a year that I was working there, the owner's wife decided to retire, and so they asked me to take her place. And so that was my first leadership role. I was 20 years old, and so I ended up managing a small chain of pharmacies, and loved that. I love the PR aspect of it, and that's kind of how I got into leadership. And I ended up getting my much later down the road. I got my bachelor's from UT Tyler in mass communications, and then I went on to get my MBA at Baylor.
That's awesome. So I'm going to pull up some of these old pictures that you shared with us, and let's talk about the moments that you had throughout your life and you realized that you wanted to kind of build that career centered on helping organizations, communities, and build trust. But most of all, it looks like you were really involved with your family as well.
Yes, I don't know which picture you have pulled up.
I
What
know.
is the
I wish I could show you because some of these photos are just, really cool to see. It looks like, you're holding hands and it looks like y'all are on a sidewalk as well and just kind of like being involved in the community. Let's just kind of base that off of the question.
Yes. Well, my family is just very, very important to me. I have a younger sister, and she's also in leadership and is fantastic. But I came from a really very strong mom, who's probably who I learned. My parents were very different from one another. My mom was very assertive, very much a go-getter, but my dad brought helped me not take things too seriously, and I think that's really kind of helped me be more of a balanced person. So yeah, definitely they helped shape who I am, and I still talk to my sister at least once a week, and my parents are no longer with us. We talked eh, probably once a day. So very very close, very very close knit family. Again, I don't know what picture you have, but
Yeah.
my husband
I,
and
I
I
threw up
couldn't
some of
have
those
kids.
family pictures, Miss Michelle.
I did. My husband and I couldn't have children of our own. Um, and so a few years ago, so some of those pictures might have some of our host kids who have become our children. So we started hosting international students, and we have we have three of them at the house right now, and they spend the summers with us, they spend holidays with us. They don't live in Texas anymore, but they still come home to us. And so we actually have a beautiful family that God created for us, and yeah, that's my life.
That's so cool. And what an experience too that you guys y'all got to share that as a family. And the experience, tell me a little bit more about that. Hosting international students, it must have been a learning experience not only for them but for you guys as well.
Man, it's been such a blessing to us, and we're so grateful. And we're so grateful to have been able to go on this journey. And like I said, we couldn't have kids, but my mom actually got to spend time with one of them before she passed, and so she actually got to be a grandparent for a little while, which was amazing. Yeah, they come from all parts of the world. We have had children from not children, they're young adults from India, from Hong Kong, from Japan, from Italy, Portugal, Australia, Korea. I don't want to forget it, Spain. Um, just so many places around the world. And so our next goal is in the next season of our life, we want to go and spend time with each one of their families and travel the world.
Oh my
But they've been a blessing
gosh.
to us. We love being a part of their journey. We've loved seeing some of them they come from all different kinds of backgrounds. But some of them come from very, very poor backgrounds, and one of them just got accepted to Notre Dame on scholarship. So, I mean, it's just been
Wow.
amazing to be part of
What an experience. And, lifelong memories that you guys get to keep forever and make more
that.
down the road is what it seems.
Yeah, we're even gonna have grandkids one of these days. So not just yet, but I mean, they'll be
Oh,
their kids, but I mean, they consider us our their American family. So, and we're just grateful.
I
We
love
who
that.
would have thought? Mhm.
Well, let's get to know who you are when you're not at the office a little bit more, or you're at community events because we know you're always at those. Who is Michelle Mills?
I just love people. I love getting to know them. I love to be active. And when I'm not at work, I'm either at home cooking with my family, spending time with them, or I'm on the tennis court. I'm not a great tennis player, but I do love to play tennis. We kind of started taking that up uh, during the pandemic when tennis was the safest sport around then, and so we ended up moving to a neighborhood that had a tennis club close by, and so we started playing tennis a few years ago. And I probably play tennis most days of the week. You'll also see us at church a lot. I sing for our Spanish ministry at church, and have done that for, I guess, on and off for the past 10 years or so, and just love doing that as well. So when we're not doing that, my husband and I love to travel. We love to cook, kayaking and hiking and all that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun, especially singing at church. How long have you been singing? That's what I need to know because you have to have a lot of confidence to go up there and not only just be on stage, but to sing in front of that many people too. It must be, something that you've been doing for a while.
Well, I am Filipino, and so most of us sing. The first time I ever sang was when I was in second grade. We were in Chicago at the time, and my music teacher asked me to sing a duet with this little boy in class. I don't remember his name, a long time ago. And we had to sing, what do you call it, Easter Parade, in front of the whole school. So that was the first time I sang. And then just on and off throughout the years. For church now, I think I've been doing it with the Spanish ministry for about 10 years or so.
Well, let's move on here to talk a little bit more about what your coworkers or people that you work with in a professional manner might, wonder about you. What is something that would surprise them that they don't know about you other than the fact that you're in your office or at community events or just getting involved in the community? What's something that they'd be surprised to learn?
I mean, I'm in a leadership role, and I tend to gravitate towards leadership in different, you know, groups or settings. But I really like being in the background. I really like being that support person. I really love seeing other people shine. And so I just really want to help people be the best that they can be. And that's really what gives me the most satisfaction.
I love that. Well, let's talk a little bit more about places in East Texas because for most people, whether it's deep East Texas or out at the lake on Lake Palestine or Lake Tyler or whatever it might be, there's lots of fun things to do. So when you're not at work, what is something that you like to do in East Texas to kind of slow down time and take time away from the office, perhaps?
I love to play tennis for one. I love to go on a run every once in a while. I can only do short runs nowadays, so I love running on legacy trails. Um, every once in a while, we like to do a salt float. Have you ever done it? It's a what do you call it? What's it called? Sensory deprivation therapy, and it's amazing. It's a great way just to get some peace. And so we do that, and a lot of times we'll do that kind of in the Mosaic District, and we'll do that, and maybe head over to True Vine and have a pizza and that'll be like a good date night for us to go over there and do that and then head home. But we like
Well,
being home a lot.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, my version of hanging out is either to be outside or to be on my couch with a nice fuzzy blanket in my pajamas watching a movie. So, I
Yeah,
mean, there's kind of a toss up between what people like nowadays.
yeah. Sounds like heaven.
Okay, well, what's something that you've always wanted to do or learn more about, but you haven't had the time because you're in the office?
Well, there's a couple things that are on our bucket list. We checked off going to Japan last year, so we were able to do that last year. But our next bucket list thing is to go see the Northern Lights, which I think we're going to do in August. And then after that, our plan is maybe to go to Europe next year. So those are things I've been to Asia, never been to Europe. So we're gonna do that and eat some really good Italian food and all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
those are yeah, that's what's on our list next.
I don't blame you there. That'd be on my list too. Well, after spending so much of your career often helping other people and organizations tell their story, what's part of your story that people don't really quite know about you?
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty much an open book. Let's see. I don't know. Couple things. Okay, just maybe a little fun fact. I was, I'm probably the oldest athlete that UT Tyler has ever had. I went back to school later in life, and which is where I met my husband. The coach Hepler, who was the coach back then, saw me. I was just running laps just to exercise, and he asked me to be. I was 34 or 35 at the time, and he said, "Hey, do you want to be on the cross country team?" And I said, "Sure." And so I was on the cross country team at 34, 35 years old. So I was as old as some of their parents at the time. So that's just a little crazy little tidbit about me that most people probably don't know.
Hey, I don't blame you. I took an extra year in college and I played college sports too. So, I mean, I get it when you're like, ready to join the workforce, but you also have to go back and take care of some things that are on your own too.
Yeah, I remember my last race. One of the other athletes on the team, she knew I was older. They all knew I was older. They're like, "Hey, Michelle, how old are you?" And so I said, "I think I was 34." Um, and so I said, "I'm 34." She goes, "Oh, wow, you're older than my mom." So that was a lot of fun. But I've had some really great experiences. Just being in my position, I've had great opportunities. I was able to dance with Dancing with the Stars. I did that a local version of that, and so my partner
That's
I won that
fun.
was about 10 years ago. Just been blessed to be part of a lot of wonderful organizations. I serve on the Women's Fund Board right now. Love Thy City. I have served as an ex officio on the chamber board for many years, and just some wonderful organizations. I'm just really grateful to be a part of this community. I love living here in East Texas.
Awesome. I love it. Well, let's talk about your East Texas roots because you have a connection here and it's kept you here throughout your career. So, why stay rooted in East Texas? What's your reasoning behind that?
I didn't plan on it, but I met my husband here and we decided to set our roots here. His family's here. In fact, his sister works for KLTV. And so I don't know if you do that. This is another fun little tidbit. Katie Bossler is my sister-in-law. So, and so yeah, we're just a really close family. We love them, and yeah, this is where family is. And so we even brought my mom here a few years ago, but before she passed away, she lived with us for a while here in East Texas, and she loved it as well.
I love it. I actually just talked to Katie, and she'll be joining us here later too. But I'll have to tell her, hey, I just interviewed her. She'll probably giggle a little bit. But one last question before we go: what gives you the most hope about the future of East Texas? And obviously, I know you speak to a lot of businesses and tell their story. But let's hear a little bit about what you think about the future.
Well, it just I get to interact, especially with us hosting all of these international students. They are brilliant, and they've such got such great confidence. They are full of wonderful ideas, and so I'm very, very hopeful about our future, not just in East Texas, but all across, throughout the world. And they're very innovative, and we have so many tools that can even help things move faster now. So I'm just excited about what's to come.
Awesome. Well, Miss Mills, is there anything else that we need to know before we go here on East Texas tonight?
Uh, can't think of anything.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm sure we'll see you around town. And also, I'll tell Katie you said hi.
Okay, please do.
Okay. All right.